I'm back. So yeah, I was just looking up the name. My dad making my name famous, and it always brings me back to my wedding day. Um, Psalms, Psalms 45. So yeah, that is a beautiful psalm, and it is all about me. Um, where they put something like, forget your father's house, and your king will desire your beauty. That is what I did. I deny being connected to them people. It's over. You know what I'm saying? It's over. Um, and when that's really, really over, um, when it's really, really over, they won't be able to come near me until after Dad does a real spiritual cleansing them, and they bow and like bow to me. And that's after December 31st. I don't believe that I will see them after December 31st. So now it's easy for people to come near me. I can meet people because um, because I'm not connected with the person that I'm supposed to be with. I'm not connected with Michael yet. But after that connection, and we are I'm brought out to the world as ruler of the world, that, and I don't know if that's going to be next summer or what, but from like from December 31st um to now, to until okay, let's put it this way. Dad, how should I say this? After Michael and I are you guys call the coronation happens, there's going to be a wall between him and I, with family, friends of the earth. They won't recognize us. They won't really be able to connect with us in a way that they did before. So now that I'm still here and I'm around, Dad will let them come near me if he wants them to. I can still, I can meet his family and friends and everything, and nothing will happen to them if they are like sincere and they sincerely love me. Like they, but after the coronation, that won't be like, I can meet them now like a regular person, but after a coronation, that won't be. We will, that people that we know now won't have free access to us like they did before. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me because, like I said, I think I said this in my bed, because of what they did to us and how they slandered and gossiped and hated us and try to prevent certain things in this union. Everybody, listen to me. What you do in this era will affect you in the next in my kingdom. So the blasphemy of the whole of my spirit and who I am, this temple, you won't be forgiven for that here end there. Like, there are consequences to it. I can forgive you, but you're going to have those consequences. Like, it's not going to be without punishment, and like that loving relationship that we had when I was asleep. No, because it's like you guys are like strangers. They will be like strangers to us. So no matter how many times they say we'll always be family, we always be family. Nah, you wasn't acting like it when the devil came and tempted you. Family protects those who are innocent. Family, like, I got your back. Nah, you ain't doing this, and you ain't saying that about her. And you ain't saying that about him, and you ain't gonna block this union. You ain't going. I'm all for it 100%. They ain't never did nothing to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, but my family didn't do that, so they lost. They lost out. But they get to have their little cars, something, so a place to stay or whatever. That they chose. They chose those things instead of life with me. So they get to have that. Even though they did wrong to me, they still get to have what they desire. Is it going to be fulfilling to them? They'll be happy, but they're also going to wish that, you know what, I wish I had my sister. I'd rather be back in that little house eating, her macaroni and cheese than on this yacht hanging out with all of us looking at each other like, that's the price of fame. That's the price of, you gotta love one and hate the other, hate one and love the other, serve the other, hate one and serve the other. But they serve my sister, like, what? Psh, bow down to her, like, what? Psh, every time you want to see me, you're gonna have to bow down, whether you want to or not. And if your heart is hardened, you ain't ever gonna see me. It don't make no difference to me. I got things to do. I got to be around people who do want to see me, who do love me, and will have my back. Somebody say something bad about the queen, they gonna be like, what? Queen Love? What? Is you crazy? Negro, is you crazy? Get out of my house. You ain't nothing but the devil. Get out of here. Now that's the devil right there. Get him out. So it ain't gonna be many people that are gonna agree with you about gossiping and stuff. You're gonna be gossiping by yourself, talking to ghosts by yourself. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that. That um talk about the seriousness of your salvation. Yes, talk about the seriousness of your salvation. Be take your salvation seriously. No, for real, for real. Take your salvation with fear and trembling, as I'm telling you, it is a countdown. It is a countdown, people. I tell you, it's the countdown now. October 31st is not going to be a happy new year for a lot of people. For a lot of people. But for those who have repented, got their mind right, Dad has given you grace, and you heard the word, that you heard his word. I can't do it. Which is me, word made flesh. You guys who heard the word, and it's like, yeah, you know what? I got to get on a good foot. Get on the good foot. Yeah, no, seriously. Get on the good foot, or you will get the left foot, a fellowship. Jealousy and envy will kill you dead. Get you killed it. Killed it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I gotta look up that young man. Because I was killing that. No, but it's true. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It's not worth it. You see these Egyptians, bling, 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 bling. It ain't worth it. I'm here to spread the good news to you. Love saves all the time. And I want to get rid of that email so bad. Because it's a lie. And I'm trying to find out how to delete it. So, what else did I want to talk about? I'm going to talk about my cricket tooth right here. And these two are fake. And this one's crooked. And it shows up higher than this. Now it's cute. It ain't cute to me. But whatever. Ding, 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 ding. Teeth are funny. I'll tell you what, boy. I was like my daughter. Candy, 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 candy. Just did not want to brush my teeth. Candy, 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 candy. Boy, it didn't pay off. But yeah, all them witches and yeah, I don't need their teeth are gonna be falling out. Bink, bink, bink. You can say who, and they're gonna be young too with no teeth. Young women with no teeth, and dentist gonna be like, you're wicked. Nah, we can't. Do you have insurance for that? But 18 years old, I don't have any teeth. All right, Gumby. Call back in about an hour. It's gonna be bad. People are gonna be so mean to wicked. Wicked is gonna be mean to the wicked because that's how Dad made it to be. Yeah, the goodly people, they ain't gonna be around to help you because you didn't want that help. You didn't want to be kind. You didn't want to be righteous. You didn't want to do what's right. So Dad is gonna take all the good and kind people out of your way so you could deal with nasty people like yourself. And that's how the thing goes. That's how the story goes. I'm trying to think of what else that I want to think about because I don't really like making videos at my house. Let's see something. The angel went on to explain the next king of Syria will be an evil man who has no right to be king, but he will come unexpectedly and seize power by trickery. Anyone who opposes him, even God's highest priest, will be swept away and wiped out. By making treaties, he will deceive other nations, and he will grow stronger and stronger, even though he rules only a small nation. He will invade a wealthy province without warning and will do things that none of his ancestors ever did. Then he will divide among his followers the goods and property he has captured in war. He will make plans to attack fortresses, but his time will soon run out. He will boldly raise a large army to attack the king of Egypt, who will prepare to fight back with a huge and powerful army. But the king of Egypt will be deceived and will not be successful. His closest adversaries will ruin him. Many of his soldiers will be killed and his army will be wiped out. Then the two kings will sit down to eat at the same table, but their motives will be evil, and they will lie to each other. They will not get what they want, because the time for it has not yet come. The king of Syria will return home with all the loot he has captured, determined to destroy the faith of God's people. He will do as he pleases and then return to his own land. Later on, he will invade Egypt again, but this time things will turn out differently. The Romans will come in ships and oppose him, and he will be frightened. Then he will turn back in a rage and try to destroy the faith of God's people. He will follow the advice of those who have abandoned. He will follow the advice of those who have abandoned the faith. Some of his soldiers will make the temple ritually unclean. Wow. Some of his soldiers will make the temple ritually unclean. They will stop the daily sacrifices and set up an awful horror. By deceit, the king will win the support of those who have already abandoned their faith, but those who follow God will fight back. Wise leaders of the people will share their wisdom with many others, but for a while some of them will be killed in battle or be burned to death, and some will be robbed and made prisoner. While the killing is going on, God's people will receive a little help, even though many who join them will do so for selfish reasons. Some of those wise leaders will be killed, but as a result of this, the people will be purified. This will continue until the end comes, the time that God has set. Wow. Okay, Dad. Wow. The king of Syria will do as he pleases. He will boast that he is greater than the Lord, than me, superior even to the supreme God. Yeah, and he did. He did boast to me in my face. Yeah, God. Oh, yeah. All right. That's what he did. He will be able to do this until the time when the Most High punishes him. God will do exactly what he has planned. The king will ignore the God. The king will ignore the God his ancestors served, and also the God that women love. In fact, he will ignore every God because he will think he is greater than any of them. Instead, he will honor the God who protects fortresses. He will offer gold, silver, jewels, and other riches, gifts to gods his ancestors never worshipped. I guess his mama. To defend his fortresses, he will use people who worship a foreign god. He will give great honor to those who accept him as ruler. Wow. He will give great honor to those who accept him as ruler and put them into high offices and give them land as a reward. When the king of Syria final hours has almost come, the king of Egypt will attack him, and the king of Syria will fight back with all his power, using chariots, horses, and many ships. He will invade many countries like the waters of a flood. He will even invade the promised land and kill tens of thousands. But the countries of Edom, Moab, and what thousand, but the countries of Edom, Moab, and what is left of Ammon will escape. When he invades all these countries, even Egypt will not be spared. He will take away Egypt's hidden treasures of gold and silver and its other prized possessions. He will conquer Libya and Ethiopia. The news that comes from the east and the north will frighten him, and he will fight furiously, killing many people. He will even set up his huge royal tents between the sea and the mountain, and on which the temple stands, but he will die with no one there to help him. The time of the end. The angel wearing linen cloth said, "At the time, the great angel Michael, who guards the temple, will appear. Then there will be a time of trouble, the worst since nations first came into existence. When that time comes, all the people of your nation whose names are written in God's book will be saved. Many of those who have already died will live again. Some will enjoy eternal life, and some will suffer eternal disgrace. The wise leader will shine with all brightness of the sky, and those who have taught many people to do what is right will shine like the stars forever." He said to me, "And now, Daniel, close the book and put a seal on it until the end of the world. Meanwhile, many people will waste their efforts trying to understand what is happening." Then I saw two men standing by a river, one on each bank. One of them asked the angel who was standing further upstream, "How long will it be until these amazing events come to an end?" The angel raised both hands towards the sky and made a solemn promise in the name of the eternal God. I hear him say, "It will be 3.5 years. When the persecution of God's daughter ends, all these things will have happened." When the persecution of God's child ends, all these things will have happened. I heard what he said, but I did not understand it. So I asked, "But sir, how will it all end?" He answered, "You must go now, Daniel, because these words are to be kept secret and hidden until the end comes. Many people will be purified. Those who are wicked will not understand, but will go on being wicked. Only those who are wise will understand. From the time the daily sacrifice are stopped, that is from the time of the awful horror, 1,290 days will pass. Happy are those who remain faithful until 1,335 days are over. And you, Daniel, be faithful to the end, then you will die, but you will rise to receive your reward at the end of time. Wow, hold on. Okay.